This is Tom Scully, and I want to talk to you a little bit about tariffs today. That doesn't mean that I know anything about tariffs, but I want to talk to you about tariffs anyway. Right now, as you're probably aware, the United States is putting a tariff on China of 175%, whereas China is retaliating with a tariff of 125%. Um, what that, of course, means in simplest terms is that there is a tax on goods coming into the country from China or goods uh, leaving here and going into China. And so the idea is that things are going to be more expensive. Um, and so I think that's going to happen. But here's my thought on that. You know, when you go to the store and buy something, chances are that if you look at the label, it's going to say made in China. And that's not going to be on a couple things. That's going to be on virtually everything that we have made in China. What does that mean? That means that China is producing quite a bit of goods, and we are buying those goods. And we are, on the other hand, producing a much smaller amount of goods, and China is buying those goods. And so, what that results in is that we end up with a significant deficit. And that deficit hasn't been going on for a couple of years, it's been going on for many, many years, and it keeps on increasing. So, what does that? I don't think that China is alone on that. I think that the rest of the world has basically treated us much the same. And the times that when I've traveled overseas, for example, going to years ago, I went to Hong Kong, and I noticed that um, all of the cars were Asian. There were no American cars, none. And this is 20 years ago. And I'm sure things have not increased since then. And I saw one American car all the time I was there. I was there for a couple of weeks, and they said, "Oh yes, that's probably from the embassy." So we're not doing much with China as far as exporting things to China, and China, on the other hand, is basically exporting almost everything to us. So what has happened is we are becoming a nation which is completely dependent on China for a number of things. And if we don't stop, um, it seems to me that we're going to end up in a situation where we become dependent on this country, which has been ripping us off for years. I mean, they've been stealing our intellectual property. They've been stealing our patents. They've basically uh, used and abused us, and they're not a country that we can really depend on. And as a result, they have a they're having an upper hand on us, at least for the last 20 years or so. And I think that we're going to go through a period of time where it's going to be very uncomfortable. It's going to be very uncomfortable because we're going to try to right the situation a little bit. And as a result, I think what's going to happen is many of the countries uh, besides China are going to come to us, and we're going to be importing from those countries, and we're going to be charging people a tariff, which we've not done in the past, or not very significantly. So that's my take on the tariffs. My thought is that we have to get through this somehow. But uh, if we if we don't, if we just capitulate, we're going to end up in a situation where we're going to continue to become more and more dependent on China, and we're going to be able to do less and less on our own. And I think that the idea that we have a number of companies coming into the United States willing to invest here, I think we've got billions of dollars coming into the country right now. And my thought is that this is a move in the right direction. So that's my idea about the tariffs. You may or may not agree with me, and that's fine, because I think that the idea is that we should have a discussion, and if people don't agree with me, that's fine, and they should express their opinions and feel free to do so, because I'm not always right. In fact, I've been told a number of times that I'm very seldom right. So, not something to not something to take at. Uh, you don't have to accept anything that I say. That's number one. That's the first thing I just wanted to talk to you about. The second thing I thought I'd like to talk to you about was last night I went to a I went to what they call the Lake County Bar Association installation dinner, where they installed a new president for the incoming year. And during that ceremony, they had lawyers that had been there for 50 years, and I was one of those. And the thing that surprised me was, now, I've been doing this for quite a long time, 50 years. I'm not going to be doing it for another 50 years. Be lucky if I do it for a couple more years. But the point was that there were probably 20 or 30 individuals that were that had either been practicing law for 45, 50, 55 years, and only about um, 6 or 7 actually appeared for the ceremony. And I was thinking that that seems to me to indicate that that people really are no longer interested in being together. We seem to be very isolated. You would think that somebody that has been doing something with their friends and for the last 50 years, you would think that they'd want to get together and see each other and talk about the past. Just, I didn't get that idea. I got the idea pretty much that that we're isolated. We become more and more isolated, and I think that has something to do with the social media, that we tend to be like, just like me right now. I am in my basement talking on the microphone, and pretty much by myself, except I got Tony over there on the other side, and yeah, and and I don't know if that's just my observation, but it just seems to me that people are no longer interested in getting together the way they used to do. Uh, Maybe that's just my observation. Uh, so that's I think that's pretty much. But that's pretty much my observation on life for today. I can't think of anything else to say. So when you have nothing to say, as my grandmother used to say, then best to be quiet. So I'll leave it at that.